Hi folks, welcome back. Happy eclipse season. Thank you for being here. I was feeling like I wanted to do a layout for navigating the eclipse energy that we're in the middle of. For me personally, it's been a lot of energy to navigate, and so I just thought maybe there's going to be something helpful for us if I do a layout. And I just noticed I set my glasses down somewhere, and now I don't know where they are. I'm going to try to do it without them. We'll see how that goes. I might have to get up and grab them at some point. So sending love out there to you all. I hope you're doing well. This weekend I have set myself a goal to try a new type of layout and post for us. So I'm going to be working on that. I've just amazed at the sort of endless challenges and problem solving that come into something like starting a YouTube channel, if you're serious about it. I mean, I remember very specifically thinking there's no way I'm going to start a YouTube unless I'm going to commit to it and be serious and feel ready to post regularly and all that. And I did, and I was, but it's still a steep learning curve. So I have a lot of admiration out there for card readers who have it really on lock and dialed in and have their methods that they're laying out here. And I'm finding my way. It's been really wonderful to give to myself. So I encourage you to give to yourself in this way. This is something that took courage for me to do. So there's also been, before I do this layout, I almost forgot, but it just came to me as I was saying that. This morning as I was kind of getting ready to do this layout, two things came through. One was new and one's been burning through my brain for weeks now. The new one was, I kept hearing wild in the streets and wild in the sheets. So somebody is feeling the spring energy. Wild in the streets and wild in the sheets. That might have some meaning for you, or else it'll just make you laugh. In either way, that's a good thing. The other thing that came through as I was thinking about the reading, and honestly has been coming through, and I keep forgetting to bring it up in readings, which is probably why it won't leave me alone, this song. It's a song that I liked in the 80s and that I had to go kind of back and find by looking up the lyrics that I remembered. And now I'm blanking on his name because it was somebody who's the artist who sings it. I wasn't super familiar with him. I just more remembered the song. But it's an R&B hit, and it's all, you read my mind, girl, I want to take you down. I can give you all the loving you need. And I loved that song growing up. I wasn't necessarily an R&B fan until kind of recently, actually. I love hip hop and rap and all that, but R&B was a little bit just too slow groove for me or something, but now I love it. And that song I remember really loving as a kid. I had it memorized. I'm glad you picked up on my telepathy now, baby. Roses are red and violets are blue. Something, 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 this world for you. I just loved that song, and it's been in my head now for weeks. So there's my little singing for you. I love to sing. That's been good for my throat chakra as well. So those songs might have meaning for you. So now, without any more delay, let's go ahead and do this Total Eclipse layout. It seems like his name was like George Shepard or George Sherman. I can't think of his name anymore, but now I wish I could have it playing right here because it's a good song. Wild in the streets and wild in the sheets. Okay, so to me this looks like it's going to have something to do with love or the heart. There's quite a bit of Swords and Cups energy, although there's a couple wands too. as well. So a nice balance of energy. I don't see any pentacles offhand, which might mean that you're having some challenges grounding yourself. And so I am, because now that heater kicked on, I forgot to turn it off. I'm going to pause this so I can go find my glasses and turn that heater off so it doesn't keep distracting me, and I'll be right back. Okay, sorry about that, but this will be better. It won't be so distracting and I won't be having such a hard time reading these cards. So it looks like the one major arcana that we have here is the Emperor, which is a really powerful, sovereign, stable energy. And so that is a grounding force that might be needed and missing from the energy. And Emperor is a divine masculine energy, and a healthy divine masculine energy is one that provides safety, security, stability, comfort, care, and knows how to wield power ethically. So this might be something that, and that's not all the masculine represents, but in this reading and in particular, it seems like he might be having kind of a grounding influence here, or is going to. So this card here is representing you. It's the Knight of Wands. So you are feeling catalyzed and on fire and ready to communicate and ready to go. You're like, let's go, LFG, let's fucking go. Like, that's your energy. You're ready. You want to move forward. You want to charge forward, and you want to either create something new or communicate about a creative or emotional, sexual, fiery, sort of libido type energy, right? This is, and libido doesn't have to just mean sex. It can also mean creativity in a way, right? Prince knew that. Prince talked a lot about managing the sacral energy. Like at one time, I mean, as we all know, Prince was a huge lover of sex, but then at some point he became like really preach celibacy a lot, especially for the creative process. So he liked to experiment with channeling energy in that way, right? And he was deeply spiritual as a person. I love Prince. May he rest in peace. So this is this kind of catalytic energy. I could even see this being an energy like Prince, where when Prince is in the studio, that's what Prince is doing. He's not distracted. He's not. And in fact, he used to describe that he felt compelled to create as much as he did, which is why he was so prolific as an artist, was that it was just his purpose, totally 100%, right? And so you may be having that kind of focus and fire and determination towards something new, or a creative or relational process. And then right beyond it is the Two of Cups. So this speaks to me that you're feeling really charged up about love and about the center of your heart and about a relationship, because the Two of Cups isn't necessarily a card about self-love. It's a card about a romantic relationship, especially for me as a reader. But there's some kind of a block or pause in this, and it's really got you feeling bound and trapped. You feel like you don't know what to do. I'm feeling a lot of frustration from these two swords here, the Two of Swords and the Eight of Swords. You're trying to find a way to break out of this situation that you feel trapped within. And this fire, that's why you're so lit up, because you're fed up. I'm getting the sense you're pissed, you're tired of feeling trapped. I don't know if it's this love relationship that's making you feel trapped, something about love and about the realm of the heart and feeling blocked in the realm of the heart. That's the foundation of this reading. And I have a sense is that you feel blocked around a relationship in some way. So I didn't necessarily intend for this eclipse reading to be about love, but that's what's coming out, and that's just fine. So love might be, well, and those two songs were very love oriented, so I guess it's not really a surprise that a love reading came out here. Sometimes I'm a little slow on putting it all together myself, even though I think I've got a pretty wide open third eye. So your vulnerability here is the Five of Wands, which indicates to me that you're a little bit vulnerable about being pulled out of your focus and distracted by things that are not really that important to you in the grand scheme of things. And that's kind of somewhat an echo of Knight of Wands energy. A knight is an ethical, valiant person, but a Knight of Wands can also be seen as kind of a player or a Casanova or someone who doesn't want to get serious, who just wants to have a lot of casual encounters type person. So that might be a little bit of the energy that you're in, which is making you vulnerable to being distracted, either by, you know, routes that you know are not really for you long term, but that kind of feel good right now. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, I don't even judge that, but this is a vulnerability for you. So for some reason, it's not working. This tendency or being prone to being distracted and looking for gratification or looking to pick fights and have conflicts, it's kind of an immature, a little bit energy. And so that's what this Five of Wands is kind of speaking to you about, your vulnerabilities here. You're a little bit vulnerable to that right now. At the very heart of things is a Queen of Swords. So to me, this is coming through as you are in a divine masculine energy. I'm reading for a divine masculine here. You are in your heart center and really in a twist about this Queen of Swords. She's set some pretty hard lines with you, it looks like, and she's standing by them. And a Queen of Swords can be seen as sort of cold or hard to get back in. If she's upset with you, it might be a little bit hard to, and you might be really feeling her sword. And that's where some of this conflict is coming from. Like, if she set some really hard boundaries with you, you might be on the one hand feeling torn up and confused and in your heart about those boundaries, and also simultaneously pissed off with her maybe and at her and not quite grasping. And when I say Queen of Swords here, this is a feminine energy. It doesn't have to be a feminine presenting person. These are just energy poles, but you are a divine masculine, very well maybe a masculine person. You know, this is, I'm just saying that as that little caveat there. So the very heart of things is that this Queen of Swords has set some hard lines with you. And it could also be that you're having trouble accessing this part of you to set your own hard limits. We'll see. But I don't think so. I think the challenge for you is that because you're a masculine here, this Queen is being shown up as your counterpart, and that you're at odds with her. You're not in an open communication channel right now. Things are blocked between you. Your strength is the Five of Swords, so that's really interesting. There's two fives here in conflict as a vulnerability and a strength. So the Five of Swords is also a card of conflict and battle and wounding words, but in here it's a strength for you. So this speaks to me that you're coming to a point, or you're at a point where you're ready to have it out with this Queen, or ready to be speaking the truth, or ready to have this block end. And it may end by your sort of frustration with her. Like, your frustration might catalyze you to be like, look, Queen, this is where it's going on. This is where I'm at. Like, let's get things in motion. Something about, and it might be being catalyzed by your sacral chakra, right? By your passion for this person, by your love. You want to come charging in. You want to get to the bottom of things. And if that means having a fight, it's almost like you're ready to do that. It's kind of what I'm sensing. And it's not a negative thing. That you're willing to come, like, you might have been being really passive, and now this is catalyzing you into being ready to face the conflict that needs faced. That just came through. You're ready to face the conflict with her. That's why it's a strength. You're not allowing, but you're going to be vulnerable a little bit to finding reasons not to. You might be a little bit conflict avoidant, or maybe you're nervous about how this conversation is going to go when it takes place. Let's see. The advice from your shadow is, your shadow is really wanting you to have some pleasure. Your shadow is needing pleasure and is needing to indulge the heart center in a pleasure-centered way. The Six of Cups is a positive card, so to me this is a part of you that you're not very comfortable with. You might not feel like it's okay for you to have pleasure or to make your own pleasure a center of your goals and your desires for your life. Your shadow needs it from you, and your shadow is saying, I need more joy. I need more pleasure. I miss this person. I want to be with her. I don't care that you're in conflict about it. I want to be with her, right? That's the message from your shadow side. And for whatever reason, like, you may believe, I'm picking this up, that you might believe that discipline is important around something like this, to the point that you're neglecting your own needs, right? Like, it might be the kind of discipline that's not really appropriate. I don't know, there's some conflict here about you not really knowing how to move forward with her. And your shadow side is saying, just, I want to be with her. I want to feel joy and pleasure again. I don't want to be in this conflicted, bound up, trapped energy. I want to be free to express love. I want to be free. And this Six of Cups here represented with 2 children. So this indicates to me a couple in this equation. The advice from your conscious mind is the Emperor card. So it's trying, you're in harmony for the most part. You might be a little bit conflicted about what does it really mean to show up like an emperor? Does it mean I need to not back down and I need to never submit to anyone? Or does it mean I need to be a wise, responsible leader that hears out all of my advisors before I make my definitive decision? The Emperor in this case is where you're trying to be. So in my mind, that's healthy. You're trying to rise to meet this occasion and what it calls for. You don't want to be in a distracted place. You don't want to be in this blocked place with her. You feel trapped. You don't want it, or him. You don't want to, this queen. I'm just going to allow myself to use the pronouns that correspond to the cards, but just know that those are only reflecting these cards. I'm not speaking in gender norms here necessarily. So this Emperor energy is where you're trying to be. And the outcome, where things are headed, is a softening of this Queen's Swords into a Queen of Cups. So this is good. You've started to tap in to what it's going to take to repair things with her. You're in a little bit of conflict still, and that's okay. That's fine. I mean, relationships that mean anything go through periods of conflict. So you're on the right path, and you're in the right mindset to be thinking, I need to approach this like an emperor. What you don't want to do is get into power and control with this queen, because it's not going to work. She's already said no to all of that. And so you're going to have to really watch for any emperor-like tendencies that are like what we kind of know about emperors. Emperors can be very brutal and don't want to share power and want to be seen as a deity and don't want, and so that's kind of the dark side of it, emperor. But an emperor in a healthy divine masculine energy is a protector, is a defender, is wise, is, looks out for the people that he's served and tasked with protecting. And so then, the outcome is the opening of this queen's heart again. She's set some boundaries. So you're on the right track. Let's see if there's, what's advice for you? What's advice for you? What's some advice for you about how to approach this and maybe how to break through this stuck energy that you feel in? You feel a little bit trapped for some reason. How can you break out of that? What's a healthy energy that can help you move through this frustrated, blocked swords conflict, right, that you're in presently? You're moving away from it. You're trying to move out of it and maybe figure out, how do I resolve this conflict with my queen? This could also be another thing that just came through, is that you might be torn between 2 different lovers. That came through for some people here as well. So you might be having a hard time making a choice. The Gambler. So this is, it's interesting. I'm curious what the advice is there. I mean, when you think of a gambler, we know what gamblers do. They know how to play the odds in their favor. They know how to play poker. A gambler is vulnerable to chance, though, as well, right? I mean, you can be a skilled poker player as anyone, but there's still an element of chance. So let's see what this says here. It's card 30, the Gambler. It's Fortune's Yellow Rose is the name of the rose. And it's card 30. What's some advice for you about how to deal with this current circumstance and feeling stuck? You're feeling stuck, and that's what I asked. How do you break through that and back into this opened up energy again? Taking a risk could be needed, but ensure you are willing to live with any eventual outcome, as this is a time of unsettled energies. Yeah, we definitely picked up on that. You could win it all or lose it, and you could play it safe. But whatever you decide to do, just watch out for the unexpected as well. Listen to your inner voice, and any tingly sensation of caution that are sent your way. The gambler does not leave things to fate, but rather works with deliberation to ensure that the odds are stacked a little better in their favor. Occasional risk takers, they are better at playing the long game. So that's great. You're being asked to remember the long game. So I can think of like Texas Hold'em as a long game, right? It's not a quick, fast, like let's do 21, right? It's not blackjack. So this is, you're being asked to think about the long game and be a strategist, but be willing to take a chance. You can't control everything. And that's like cards. You can't control, like I might want a certain message to come out in tarot, but I don't control the tarot message that comes out. And the more you get into cards, the more you realize that the tarot will not lie to you. It tells you the truth, even when you're not ready for it. So this is saying, take a risk, be willing to go out on a limb. It's going to require you to take some chances here, but you need to be thinking about the long game as well. So use this Knight of Wands energy that you're in to take the chance, but remember to keep your wits about you, right? Let's find out a little bit. Let's see if we can find out a little bit about the circumstances here. What are the circumstances that have you feeling blocked and trapped? What is the block? What is it? And sounds like part of how you can break free from the block is being willing to take a chance again. Overcoming some of your fear and being willing to strike out and see what happens. You could go play the slots, or you could play it safe and go get a candy bar. The candy bar is the short game, right? It gives you an immediate satisfaction. But if you go play the slots for 3 hours, you might end up with a jackpot. And so you have to decide, what's my $3 investment going to be? Is it going to be in a candy bar, or is it going to be in playing the slots? I don't know. I don't even really gamble that much. I'd rather just keep the money. So I have but I'm a risk taker. I like to take chances and I like to take risks. So this is a nice energy here. And this, I like how it's a yellow rose as well, which could indicate the solar plexus. So having the confidence to take a chance and play your hand, right? What are the circumstances? Why are you feeling blocked? Luck. So there's something, you might like to gamble. You might like the odds, or you might like gambling. Yeah, I mean, just, you might like playing the odds in your life and hedging your bets and approaching your life like that, like a game of cards or something, or a game of strategy. So what has you feeling blocked? You might be feeling unlucky for some reason, like luck isn't on your side right now, or you're being blocked. Yeah. No matter what you do, fate seems to be working against you. What else? Has something to do with your home life. So you're feeling blocked in some close center, home. You're feeling blocked in your masculine energy, in your heart. For some reason, you're being blocked to move forward, and that's frustrating you because this is the 4 card and the Emperor is a 4 card, and it's also representative of a king. So you feel blocked in your luck. Like, why aren't the odds working with me here? I know this is for me, so why am I being so blocked? It's something to do with your home and communication. You don't feel prepared to communicate at this point, which I know is what you're wanting to do. You're ready and wanting to communicate, but there's something that you feel blocked in your ability from your home life right now, maybe. But just know that this is changing. The sun is going to come out again. This is a really positive card in the Lenormand, just like it is in the tarot. So this is everything coming to light, everything breaking through, the clouds shifting away and the confusion washing away and everything becoming clear again. So just hang in there. Clear communication is also required. Clear, joyful communication. It's okay to level with this queen and be a little bit vulnerable to her. Take a chance to do that, because by doing that, it's going to open her heart back up to you. She's pretty guarded and done at this point. She doesn't want to play games. She doesn't want to feel like she has to guess what's going on with you. Clear communication is going to be what breaks this all through. Being clear, communicating, even if it starts off a little bit conflictual, like she might have some words for you. Like, you might have to come forward and say, hey, can we talk? And then hear her out, right? She might say, yeah, I'm hurt. Like, what the fuck? Or, you know, whatever. But I don't know why Wild in the Streets is coming up, but that might have been something in play here that was a conflict for you. But that You Read My Mind song is coming through, which is going to soften things. Like, what I'm sensing here is that things need to soften. They've gotten pretty icy. It may be because of some of these circumstances that you've been feeling blocked at home, but communication coming through is going to clear all of that up and open her heart back up to you. So that's important for you to know. You may be wondering about that, and this eclipse is going to perhaps eclipse some of these conflicts away. And yeah, oh my God, yeah, this because of the suns. It's a solar eclipse coming up. The total solar eclipse, fucking A, right? So this total solar eclipse is going to really assist this energy. It's almost like this energy is small potatoes compared to the solar eclipse energy that we're working within, and your willingness to take a risk. You're willing to do that. So let's see here. What else can I pull before I close out this layout? Where did my cards go from my deck? What did I do with those? Oh yeah, they're right here. This is a deck I designed when I very first decided to start reading for people and not just myself anymore. I wanted to make my own deck. And I sold several, and then the rest that I had got stolen when my car got broken into. So I don't currently have any of these for sale, and nobody's been asking in a while, but I do sell this deck if anybody's interested. If I get enough inquiries, I'll pay to have another set of them printed. I would like to have some more printed because this is the only one, and it's stained. I spilled something on it. It's the only one I have because all the rest got stolen. You must turn this over to fate. So that gambler card, you're going to have to be willing to take a risk. You can't control every aspect of this, and that might be hard for you. And also what's trapping you up a little bit is that you're trying to keep some control. You're going to have to take a chance here. I'm surprised the Wheel of Fortune isn't out, but the Wheel of Fortune is almost like stuff happening that, you know, is surprising and outside of your, you know, and you might be, your effort to try to control everything might be somewhat preventing that a little bit. That's coming through. Breathe deeply and replenish yourself. Rest. Find and be with your loyal and devoted community of support. Doing some things like this and, you know, is going to break through, maybe allowing the eclipse energy to work and not forcing things. Keep the torch lit. So yeah, don't give up. This is where it's headed. A Queen of Cups from a Queen of Swords is what you want to see if you're trying to make up with someone. So that's good news. What about her energy? What kind of energy is this Queen in? It's going to benefit you to be willing to be a little bit of a gambler. What is her energy regarding this situation? Where is she at? The Gardener. Wow. Pretty. It's the Triomphe de Luxembourg rose, so it sounds like a French or German cultivar, maybe, a garden rose, and it's card number 20. So this was card number 30 for you. Her energy is card number 20, the Gardener. You can't expect the harvest unless you plant the right seeds and are prepared to nurture your crop. And so it is with the energies and situation around you at the moment. You can expect a good harvest if you have put in the work. If not, then you better start looking at how you can improve the next time. People, relationships, and you all need multifaceted attention to grow. The gardener does not always work according to original plans. They are prepared to change, move, and adapt in line with the seasons, events, and challenges that the world presents. So she's been pretty determined about her current mode, but is also in a flexible state of mind. And that's kind of what I was picking up, that if you're willing to be a little bit vulnerable with her, she's willing to open back up to you. She's not going to open back up if you keep being in an effort to try to control and not willing to take any risks yourself. She's not going to be willing to open up, I sense. But she's going to be adaptable and fluid if you are. So I hope this helps. I feel like that's a nice place to close the reading. Just know that eclipse season is behind you or aiding you through this in some way. As long as you're willing to go out on a little bit of a limb and take a risk here, everything can open up for you with this total solar eclipse energy of ushering in the new for you on all levels, like boom kinds of levels, right? So that's all. Please check out my Obsidian Mirror podcast on here. Those are having some archetypal themes that are currents running through the lunar cycles that are really coming out in fascinating ways. And I'm starting to develop that podcast out of also not just Obsidian Mirror scrying, but soon I'd like to do some ink scrying as well. So stay tuned for that. And I'm going to also try my hand at another kind of layout here. So I have lots of ideas and I'm excited to keep growing this channel. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for any engagement, liking, commenting, or sharing. If you know the name of the artist of that song, share it with me. I'll look it up too. But be safe out there. Be willing to get a little wild in the streets and wild in the sheets. Have some fun, right? That's, I think, why that's coming through. You've got to take life a little less seriously right now.